I want to welcome Jacob Walker to the stage. Jacob is Kenya's son. She doesn't look old enough to have a son as old as Jacob, but she tells me that she is and going to have a birthday party in February in Nashville. So we're all invited, right, Janet? I'm invited. Yeah, that's right. We're all invited. So let's have a big hand for Jacob Walker. And again, don't forget, food and beverages are for sale. Feel free to go help yourself and wave your hand at them, and maybe somebody will come and wait on you. Let's hear some wonderful music, Jacob.
That's right. Gonna climb myself a mountain, clear up to the sky, make a plan with my maker for a brand new life. Changes, sometimes not too kind, changes, move the hands of time. I got wrapped up in her beauty, passion in her eyes. Should have looked a little deeper to the soul she tried to hide. Changes, bound to get you down. Changes, always seem to come around. I don't know where this path is going, but it's time to take a stand. I gotta put my faith in someone who's stronger than I am. Rearranging, changing, a new place to begin. Changes, sometimes you can't see the end. Rearranging, search and you will find. Changes, move the hands of time. I'm gonna climb myself a mountain, clear up to the sky, make a plan with my maker for a brand new life.
I don't know anybody who's had as much fun living their life through songs as I have. People say I care too much. I'm so emotional. Tender soul who's out of control. I've been told a heart like mine is
10-pound heart. Need someone adventurous. This is serious. Timid-hearted need not apply. Faithful and available with some experience in handling a heavy desire. So now if I've described you, you need someone who can share your dreams and make them come true. Look inside my 10-pound heart. A ton of devotion and gallons of tears, and old flames still burning from my 19th year. Exploding with passion and raging romance, begging me constantly to take one more chance and let this love inside of me start flowing from my 10-pound heart. Please won't you let this love inside of me start flowing from my 10-pound heart. I remember Daddy yelling, "Don't leave this house," looking like some freak. And Mama whispered, "Baby, he means well, 'cause what would people think?" He slammed the door, staggered across the floor, passed out in his easy chair. Then Mama called over to the beauty shop asking, "Mildred, can you fix my hair?" And the walls were lined with family portraits, all from Holland Mills. Right above the dresser where Daddy kept his liquor and Mama hid her sleeping pills. And the door was closed to Brother's room. He was never talked about. And we knew better than to open that closet, 'cause a skeleton might fall out. And we thought Daddy was Father knows best, and Mama was Donna Reed. Just to mind your own business and keep up appearances, normal family. Daddy sobered up for Sunday service, was a deacon in the church. And when the plate was passed, Mama pulled a 20 from her patent leather purse. The preacher at dinner talked about sinners. Lord, let us pray for them. Then I found a note the preacher had wrote to Mama with love from him. And the walls are lined with family portraits, all from Holland Mills. Right above the dresser where Daddy kept his liquor and Mama hid her sleeping pills. And the door was closed to Brother's room. He was never talked about. We knew better than to open that closet, 'cause a skeleton might fall out. And we thought Daddy was Father knows best, and Mama was Donna Reed. dresser where Daddy kept his liquor. Mama hid her sleeping pills. The door was closed to Brother's room. He was never talked about. And we knew better than to open that closet, 'cause a skeleton might crawl out. And we thought Daddy was 5 on those best, and Mama was done to read. Just mind your own business, keep up appearances, no family. Just mind your own business and keep up appearances, no more family. When my baby sister, thank you so much. When my baby sister heard me do that at the Bluebird, it was one of my publisher's favorites, so I had to do it every time. And she said, "Okay, that song's not about us because our daddy's not dead." And I said, "Okay, honey, whatever you, whatever, you know, because you do as a writer, you take license." I saw sweet baby James singing Fire and Rain on the front row center. I was blown away. 7 hours in line in the November cold. It was worth every minute to an 18-year-old. And what are the chances that you were there too? 1,000,000 to 1. I was right next to you. But whoever knew how close we were to a dream waiting to come true. I was there in Times Square on New Year's Eve, on the corner of Broadway and 43rd Street. And the 80s were gone and the 90s arrived. As loud as I could, I sang Old Lang Syne. And one block over, you were standing alone. Could have kissed you at midnight if I'd only known. But whoever knew how close we were to a dream waiting to come true. And how many times did we cross the same street till heaven decided one day we should meet? And maybe it saved us some pain and regret, 'cause both of us weren't ready yet. On the 4th of July, under Washington skies, we saw the fireworks in each other's eyes. And I'll never forget till the day I die, the moment you told me you will be mine. We talked and held hands till the dawn's early light, and we shared the same plans for the rest of our life. And right then I knew we were holding on to
can't grow up in Alabama in the 60s named, now close your eyes and think of this, okay? Named Kenya, like the country in Africa, King, like the dog, woo, woo, and Slaughter, like you kill something. My name was Kenya King Slaughter. Two eccentric, lovely Bria parents trying to name me after my Papa King. I grew up very aware of injustices amongst people because of segregation. And I know for a fact that God does not segregate because I lived it. And so I wrote this from my heart after I read Mark Childress' book, Crazy in Alabama. And this is how it goes. And this, I'm still glad I did it.
I heard Odessa's mind was sick, that she was crazier than hell. The police caught her turning tricks down at the Blue and Gray Motel. Odessa was my favorite name. She had 10 miles at home to fade. They bust her kids to Birmingham and took her to the county jail. Nobody seemed to give a damn. They say a white man posted bail. My dad said not to breathe a word. I told my brother all I heard. And the train of change was bearing down and gaining ground. And we had a choice to climb on board or get run down. And it was crazy, there were grown men fights over segregation and civil rights. Martin Luther King and the KKK, George C. Wallace and LBJ. And when the National Guard came in, thought the world was gonna end. It was crazy in Alabama. Down at the corner dairy dip, they sold soft ice cream for a dime. White people ordered from the front, the side was for the colored line. And we were told they had their place because they were a different race. We spent hot summer afternoons out at the public swimming pool, where the privileged and the few played on an island of cool blue. Brown children watched outside the fence. It never made one bit of sense. And the train of change was bearing down and gaining ground. We had a choice to climb on board or get run down. And it was crazy, there were grown men fights over segregation and civil rights. Martin Luther King and the KKK, George C. Wallace and LBJ. And when the National Guard came in, thought the world was gonna end. It was crazy in Alabama.
And that is the truth.
My mama yelled, "Child, get inside." She drew the drapes and locked the door. We watched the marchers passing by. We felt the rumble and the roar. They all held hands. They sang and wept, and freedom rang in every step. And the train of change was bearing down, gaining ground. And we had a choice to climb on board or get run down. was crazy. There were grown men fights over segregation and civil rights. Martin Luther King and the KKK. George C. Wallace and LBJ. When the National Guard came in, thought the world was gonna end. It was crazy. It was crazy, crazy, crazy in Alabama. Y'all don't let it be crazy in Kentucky. Thank y'all. In the music business, it's a really intuitive business. And I think in life, it's very intuitive too, if we have the courage to do that. And I just, I want to say that I'm glad I did. It wasn't always easy, you know. But know this, there's a treasure map hidden in the depths of your soul. If you find that map and you take that path, it will lead you to the golden heart of hearts, overflowing with knowing and bliss. If you get that far, just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do. It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says. When someone you trust to be fair and just turn on you, and you're all alone in the great unknown, and you don't know what you should do, find your heart of hearts overflowing with knowing and if you get that far, just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do. It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come when your thoughts are calm. You're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says. It tells you who you're meant to be and gives you the strength to believe. Don't settle for less than your dream. Do what your heart says you should do. It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come when your thoughts are calm. You're searching for the truth. What your heart says. Thank y'all. I just knew I had to produce this song, so I took the last money in my bank account
and took some singers in there, called some girls in there, and to get some gospel singers, and I cut this song. So I overnighted it to any day now, and I was real excited, and I got a phone call, and they said, well, we got it. That's all they said. And so I didn't think a whole lot about it, and they called me up, and they said, we're having a cast party, and we want you to come out here, and we're doing wrap-up, and it was like in April. And I was real excited that I was going to go to a TV cast party, you know, for Aaron Spelling production. So I thought, oh, this is so great. So the music supervisor at Aaron Spelling's had gotten to be a really good friend of mine, and she said, okay, Kenya, when you go out there to the TV set, she told me what to do so I wouldn't bother people because, you know, I tend to fall down a lot. And they took me in this editing room with all this TV editing equipment, and they set me down. They said, Kenya, we're going to show you what we do when you send us your song. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great because I just love to learn, you know. And I sat down there, and they said, we want you to sit in this chair. It's a real soft, padded chair. And I said, okay. I sat in that chair. So I could hear Martin Luther King up there, and I could see all the footage where it was the real thing, you know, the what do they call that stock footage? And then they had actors. They had created extras and actors, and they're in front of the courthouse and everything in Montgomery, Alabama. And I was like going, wow, this is amazing. And then I heard, oh, and I said, damn, that sounds familiar. So I'm sitting there, and then I hear Frank playing the guitar, and I'm like, that sounds like Frank playing the guitar. I literally said, that's what was going through my head. I was that numb. And then I started singing, and I said, that is me singing. And I was singing behind the marchers, marching from Selma to Montgomery. I can't even tell you what a present that was for me. I think I was 7 years old in 1965 when that happened, and it was a scary, scary, scary time for a little child. I can't even explain it unless you've been through where martial law was in effect. I don't know that it's explainable. You have been tested, tried and abused. The baggage you carry is worn out and used, and your dreams are folded, packed up inside, out of your sight and out of your mind. And I have been walking right beside you when I saw you hurting. Well, I felt it too. This path is familiar with lessons to learn, and if you keep moving, you'll get your turn and you'll rise. And right on the way, look down and see where you've been, and smile, brother, 'cause you have done well, yeah. And you will touch heaven, 'cause you walked through hell. This path is familiar with lessons to learn, and if you keep moving, you know
and see where you've been and smile, brother, 'cause you have done well. And you will touch heaven. You will touch heaven. You will touch heaven. 'Cause you've walked through hell. It was a slow fade on the TV show, too. Slow fade out. Thank y'all so much. Thank you very much. No, I mean, how can you not let songs lead you around when they're that much fun, you know, to sing? Thank y'all for coming. What I'm doing now is a hoot. What I'm doing now is a one-woman show. Her name is Ruby Gardenia. That's Ruby Gardenia. She's Kenya Walker's best friend. And Kenya Walker is her best friend. So one day, if you guys look in the paper or on TV or some wild thing like that, and you see somebody who looks a lot like Kenya Walker, that's just plain old Kenya Walker pretending to be Ruby Gardenia. Because she's 50 years old and doesn't care what she does. Well, almost. I do care. But Ruby, you know, Ruby's been married 7 times and divorced 7 times. All of the men she was married to, their occupations started with a P. It's all in the storyline. Thank you for noticing. They get just as excited when you put them on as when you take them off, don't they? Ruby's worked in a club in Charleston, South Carolina. It's called Lawson's of Charleston. It's owned by the Lawson family. Her second husband was none other than Mr. Sandy Lawson, heir apparent to the Lawson Empire. They had a club in Charleston, Savannah, Mobile, Biloxi, and New Orleans. On my second honeymoon with my second husband, we hit every club and visited every Lawson's establishment. It was amazing. I met at the New Orleans club my future best friend was Star Monique, Queen of New Orleans. She had the lowest voice of any woman I'd ever heard, and the largest hands and feet I'd ever seen. We were instant best friends. I'd call Star Monique, and I'd say, Star Monique, What you gonna do when your man's cheating on you? Night after night, 2 and 3 times a day. And she'd tell me what to do. I didn't always like it. One time Star Monique called me and she said, Ruby, they say there's gonna be a terrible storm. They're naming it Katrina. Don't worry, Star Monique, everything's always been okay. Everything will keep being okay. And the next phone call, it was Star Monique, hysterical. So unlike Star Monique, who was always together, as she should be. And she said, what you gonna do when the levee breaks, Ruby Gardenia? What you supposed to do? What you supposed to do? And I said, I don't know, Star Monique. I don't know what you're supposed to do when the levee breaks. And I thought to myself, what you supposed to do? What you supposed to do when the levee breaks? Lord have mercy, for heaven's sake. What you supposed to do when the voodoo blues get you? What you supposed to do in the voodoo when mama don't dance and daddy don't play? What you supposed to do when the voodoo blues get you? The voodoo blues are sneaking in your house, sleeping on your couch. The blues are drinking up your booze, feeding on your doubts. The blues, they're waiting and watching till you bottom out. And you wake up next to the spooks. Ooh, what you supposed to do when the Zulu pride is scattered as the black crows fly? What you supposed to do when the voodoo blues get you? What you supposed to do when the vibe ain't jazzed? The saints don't march on glory fast. What you supposed to do when the voodoo blues get you? The voodoo blues are sneaking in your house, sleeping on your couch. The blues are drinking up your booze, feeding on your doubts. The blues, they're waiting and watching till you bottom out. You wake up next to the spooks. I don't know what you're supposed to do when Marie Laveau packs it up and hits the road. What you supposed to do when the voodoo blues get you? What's a ghost to do when the voodoo blues get you? Thank y'all. Did Jacob play that really good? He was trying to see how fast his mama could sing.
No.
I stayed up with you, young
Sorry.
thing.
Too much fun.
I still stayed up, Jacob.
That was great. Can I just keep playing the bass?
Okay, guys. Thank y'all for indulging me. I just love my little play acting. Enough of that. It's time for the ending song. Once upon a time, at a record label in Nashville long ago, no, not that long ago, Mercury had a label called Polydor Records. Toby Keith was on that label. A group called Forerunner, it had a friend of mine, was on that record label. And Shelley Wright was on that record label. And I had the single, and I got a call from my friend who worked A&R, and he said, Kenya, they just bought a pair of $800 alligator shoes for the video. And I said, well, if that don't tell you you're fixing to have the single, I don't know what does. And 2 weeks later, boom, the label closed down.
Welcome to Nashville.
Welcome to Nashville, and all the lessons learned, and I'm grateful for them. And in a parallel universe somewhere on the airwaves, this single did happen, And might be what it sounds like. Y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much. Gail Robinson Butler, what a first-class organization. Thank you very, very much for having West Kentucky, for having me. We appreciate it. Let us know what we can do for you. I look forward to meeting all of you. I've got records for sale with this song on it and some other ones after the show. Man, it's so hard to shameless promote. Y'all forgive me. Called him for days, he didn't answer the phone. Drove by his house, I knew he was home. A week's worth of papers and mailed in the box. Thought he was dead, I picked the lock. I found him in tears, in the dark on his knees, with a hole in his chest, where his heart used to be. He said, don't call the doctor, don't call the nurse. Call for the lady with the alligator purse. She knows the spell to lift this curse. Go find the lady with the alligator purse. Yeah. In an old stone house off 21st, I found the lady with the alligator purse. She answered the door, said, I know who you are. She lit a candle, consulted the stars. When I saw her closing that reptile's hide, I asked her point blank, is my friend gonna die? She said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I'm just the lady with the alligator purse. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So said the lady with the alligator purse. She said, look at what happened to Cleopatra when she didn't take my advice. Romeo, Juliet, they didn't get it too bad. Those kids were so nice. By the time we got back to my pitiful pal, there was no sign of life till he saw the alligator purse on her arm, the gleam in her eyes. She opened the bag, there was nothing inside. She said, there's no secret, it's love that I use. I just carry this bag 'cause it matches my shoes. She said, don't call the doctor, don't call the nurse, don't call the lady with the alligator purse. Love is the magic of the universe. Take it from the lady with the alligator purse. Love is the magic of the universe, yeah. Take it from the lady with the alligator purse. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is for you. Thank you very much.